Any Cadence fans here? Thought there might be a few. You just bring people with you to make sure you get that?
Well, Michael, what a great venue. By the way, there is a car hanging up here. I don't know if it's for Michael's show or for the show later.
It's if we don't do well, it'll, yeah.
But it's great to be here, Michael.
Yeah, thank you very much. And I think some people will see it at the concert tonight.
Yeah.
I just hope it doesn't come down early.
Yeah.
So it's going to be quite a show. So this is Dr. Anirudh Devgan, and I know him well based on his leadership. He's been at Cadence a long time and became CEO in 2021. Mm-hmm. And actually, you weren't here. I talked about your financial performance and with a lot of other great companies earlier. But can you let the audience know what Cadence does and how it touches their life every day?
Absolutely. And so at a high level, we are a software company. We make software to design chips, semiconductors and electronic systems. So almost any chip design in the world today is designed with some form of Cadence software. Because these things, if the chips like in the phone or in the cars or in the TVs, these things are very small. I mean, typically like 1 inch by 1 inch, and it can have like 100 billion transistors. So they're too complicated to be designed manually. So they're all designed by software. And so we are the leading company to provide software to design chips and electronics.
Okay,
yeah.
So is it absolutely true that we touch Cadence every day?
Yeah, and thank you for that, yeah. So almost all companies, we are B2B companies. So all companies, all the words, Mag 7, all the big companies are our customers. Yeah.
Okay, and Cadence has been on our list 11 years in a row, and number 11 ranking on this year's list, the highest.
Thank you.
You've been up right there at the top, both under your leadership as CEO, which is hard to make a great company even greater. So I just want the audience to know kind of who I'm sitting with. One of the world's leading authorities on electronic design automation. You hold 27 patents, master's degree and PhD in electrical and computer engineering, and other huge achievements in technology space, many that pertain to AI. And so that's what we want to really talk about today, and we definitely have the right person to do that. And I'd like to get your thoughts on this. Is AI hyperbole or is it real? And here to say, just to help us all understand, we're in learning mode today.
Yeah, first of all, Michael, before we get to AI, I just want to say it has been a privilege to work with Michael and great place to work over the last more than a decade.
Thank you very much.
And we have learned a lot, from you and from your team. And even recently, we did a special survey on AI, right? We'll talk about that later. But on AI itself, I think the funniest thing about AI is the name itself. Because it's it became such a buzzword over the last few years, but nobody clearly defines what AI is. So then everybody calls everything AI, and then of course you're supposed to be doing AI. So there's a little bit of hype that is created by that. But of course it's a fundamental technology. And even sometimes what we used to call computer science is now called AI. Okay. But so I think it's important to first define what AI is, and then we can. So the simplest, because some people say, oh, it's a foundational technology like the internet. To me, I think it can be even much bigger than the internet. Okay. So if I read this book a long time ago. This is in the 90s, and they defined like 3 fundamental sciences. Okay. So the first science is science of place. Place, place, and that's geometry. So that's like 2,000 years ago. Okay. And then the second fundamental science is science of pace. PACE, which is derivative. Okay, so that's calculus. So that's Newton, right? So that's 400 years ago. And a lot of people credit the Industrial Revolution coming out of calculus and all the things it created. Okay, and we are still applying a lot of, all these differential equation computers. They're all from basically because of calculus. And then they say the third fundamental science is science of pattern. Pattern. And so data pattern, other patterns. And AI could be the science behind patents. Okay. So if that's the case, and we have to see how it goes, it is much more fundamental. It could last for 400 years or more and transform everything. So it is anything that utilizes patent in a more scientific way can be fundamental to all. So in that sense, it is not hype. But of course, people, talk about it too much, and then, but it will transform all things. Now, what will happen is everybody will have to be an AI company, because you don't say, well, whether I use geometry or calculus, because everybody uses it. So it will not be the horizontal part of AI, which will be critical, which is like language models or other kind of, it will be the vertical application to our own businesses. Whatever business you are in, that will be. It's always the vertical application, which is combining AI with what industries we are in, and utilizing it properly will be foundational. Yeah.
You know what I love about you, Anirudh? You're so respectful. You actually think I understand what you just said. No? I just love that about you. So the last time I saw you, we were together at Cadence's FemAI Summit.
Yeah.
Okay, and that's where we met Dr. Joy, and got to bring her today because of the summit that you were doing. Can you let the audience know why you did that, and whether you're going to continue to do it?
Oh yeah, I love the FemAI initiative, because a few years ago, after I became CEO, we started a foundation. We want to do, of course, we have 4 constituents in my mind: customers, employees, investors, but also the ecosystem, the society we are in. So we want to make an impact on the society, not just, of course, investors, customers, and employees. So I thought foundation was a good way to do it, and we have well-funded the foundation for several years. And then the thing is, what signature initiatives we should have, and FemAI is one of the big ones. And of course, now it's a little bit controversial, let's say, and one thing I told already, but just for the audience, what we always talk about is like culture, of course, super critical, right? For Cadence, for any company. And we always talk about like team, technology, and customers. By the way, I only say things in threes, so so it's team, technology, and customers. And of course, everybody says you are customer focused. We have to be customer focused to win. But if you don't have the right team and the right technology or products, you're not going to have good customers. So having the right team and having the right culture is central. Okay. And the thing with that is, a lot of people talk about it, but it's like what you actually do about it. So in terms of team and culture, again, to me, there are 3 important things. 3 again. And the 3 important things, and we have done this for a while, and a lot of it is common sense, but the main thing is to practice it, not just talk about it. But the 3 important things is, the foundation is integrity and trust, because I hate politics, okay? So I want to make sure that, and we as leaders have to exhibit that, and then everybody else will do that. So we want to be completely honest with the employees, with the customers, with the investors, build trusted relationships. So without that, you have nothing, okay? So that's the foundational layer. The second layer of the 3-layer cake is opportunities for all. And I believe that even before DI was in fashion or not in fashion, okay, because we need to make sure that we create opportunities for all gender, for both genders, for all races, for all locations. Because a lot of times in big companies, if you're close to the headquarters versus, So I fundamentally believe that, because it's super critical. But the third thing on top is excellence and meritocracy. Okay. So to me, there's all this talk about DEI versus meritocracy. I think that's not the point, because we always have to lead with meritocracy and excellence. So without that, we're not going to have good business results. So to me, they are not in conflict with each other. What we have to do that anyway, but the middle part, we should create more opportunities for everyone. Because we have, 12,000 people at Cadence. There are, 8 billion people in the world. To me, opportunities for all is a comparative advantage to attract the best talent. And it doesn't mean that we will lower our talent. We never lower our talent in the past. We will never lower in the future. But those three things, to me, go together. Okay. So now in Fem.ai, in AI, only 20% participation is from women. And we want to get that close to 40, 50%. So we have this initiative, and there are what, 8 billion people, 4 billion women. Definitely millions and millions and billions of them are very capable. So if we create a culture in which we attract the people, we will get better employees and we'll perform better for our customers.
Yeah.
So to me, that's how I look at it.
Yeah, thank you. And how are you thinking about how AI is, or just let us know how AI is actually impacting your technology and the customers that you serve, and what you feel like it'll do for your employees and the work that they're doing?
Absolutely. So AI has multiple facets for us. There are at least 3 parts of AI, for us. So first of all,
they're loving the 3 parts.
Sorry. See, the thing is that if it's 2, it's like too many, it's too little. If it's 4 or 5, nobody remembers anything, okay? So I only remember in 3s. Actually, my advisor, my PhD advisor, I don't know if you know E, the universal constant.
See, this is that respect thing.
Yeah.
Okay, but go ahead.
If you look at E, it's the natural log number, it's 2.7. So he used to say answer to everything is E, which is 2.7. So it's either 2 or 3 main things. So in AI, the 3 main things are, first of all, we are working with all the big AI companies, whether it's NVIDIA, Google, Microsoft. So they all use our products to build, like NVIDIA's chips or Google's infrastructure. So that is, because the biggest beneficiary of AI in the beginning is the infrastructure. So that is directly, we need to make sure we are relevant to those companies. So that's the first part. The second part is we can use, AI to improve our own products. The products we sell, like the chip design software or system design, they can be much more efficient with AI, with this, science of pattern or data science. Because we always had fundamental things, like using physics and chemistry, but you can always augment that with data science, okay? So we have all kinds of projects, more than 30 projects to inject AI into our tools, our products, and the results are phenomenal, okay? And then the third part of AI is using it internally, okay, to be more efficient, for our employees, for their workflows, for, in making our application engineers or salespeople more efficient, marketing more efficient, to improve, let's say, the efficiency and the margin, okay? Whereas the first 2 are to improve, revenue and customer satisfaction. So I want to make sure we are relevant in all 3, and I encourage everybody to do that. And they are going to be different for different companies, because again, AI is a combination of the core technology with the domain, okay? But I think it has both benefit on the top line and the bottom line. That's how you do it.
Okay. Well, from our work together, we knew really starting about a year ago, we began to understand the impact that AI was going to have, and that it was moving faster than most people thought, and we had a lot to learn. So one of the things we did was started in our listening tool in pricing, try and find out how employees feel about it. And so we put into our question set whether or not employees were excited about it.
Yeah.
And at Cadence, number popped out, 75%. It's 3 out of 4 people are excited about it. And therefore, we came to you and said, hey, we'd like to understand this so that we could really come up with an index to let companies know whether they're ready or not, which all comes down to trust and fear. So over the last 6 months, we've been working together and got some pretty impressive results. We already know that 75% is 2 times the average, in companies, a big difference. And some of the things that we found out, which I'll share, and then ask you why you're excited about this, just like we are. It's going to benefit everybody that's here. We found that employees enabled with AI training tools are nearly twice as likely to feel supported in using AI. And over 80% express excitement and optimism about AI's impact on their careers and Cadence's growth. So they see AI as it's going to help Cadence and it's going to help them, as people. And they also report higher levels of confidence in management and management's decision making. And when there's clear communication from leadership about the uses of AI, they're 3 times more likely to embrace and adopt. We're just 6 months in, and this is what we see. What do you feel like you're doing right to make this true? Because this is good advice for people here all faced with the same challenge.
See, my opinion is that people always, and I used to do real work, right? Now I do less of it. Now I do talking and email and PowerPoint, okay? But people always want to learn new things, and AI is such a great technology. I think by nature, who doesn't want to get better, right? You just have to create an environment that is done in a positive way, that not in a gotcha way, but that you are actually helping the employees and helping the company. But by nature, people want to do good things and improve their skill set, assuming they think it will not be used negatively by the company. So the trust is important. And also the other things like the other thing that used to trouble me a lot was that the promotions and all that should be fair. What troubles high performers more than anything is low performers getting rewarded.
Yeah.
They can understand, okay, I didn't get rewarded because I need to do more. Then you say, oh, this person got promoted. So I think the reward systems have to be correct. The culture has to be correct. But people definitely want to learn new things, right? And what we try to do is also to incentivize the management team. So this is also a little bit controversial, but I think it has worked very well. We have something called Cadence Culture Modifier. Okay, so 20% of the bonus is affected by this, and I have freedom of defining it every year based on what is new or what is current. So now I didn't do it for everybody because but we did it for the top 100 leaders because they have large organizations they are managing. There are people who are reporting to me or people who are reporting to them, like about 10 people are reporting to me. But I think that's not enough in my opinion. That's not enough to change the culture. But at 100, that because each of them have 10 people reporting to them and they are all running large organizations, you can make a difference. So 20% of their bonus is affected by this Cadence Culture Modifier. And we used to have it on hiring, like diverse hiring and things like that. And we will modify that now with some of the new rules. But with AI is one of them now. We want to make sure that these leaders incentivize the teams to actually use these new technologies. And so just create an environment that you empower people, make them learn, and it will benefit the company anyway. I mean, there's no rocket science.
Yeah. Okay. Well, we've got a lot of people in our audience that work at great companies like yours.
Yeah.
And we have some people in the audience, because they let me know that's not necessarily the case. We did a session yesterday where I asked the audience, how many of you know what it feels like to be at a great place to work? And about 50% of the people raised their hands. And then I asked, how many of you know how it feels to work at a horrible place to work? It was like 100%, which is great for my business. Okay, but that's a side note. But knowing that, you're talking to a group of people who are in both camps, what final 2 thoughts, not 3, okay, what final 2 thoughts would you like to leave with the audience?
Well, first of all, it's great to be here. I mean, we are always, like I said, team, technology, and customers. So we are always aligned with the business goals. See, to me, it's always the business goals and what is aligned with that. Okay, so we are not doing it for charitable purposes. We are a great place to work because it helps our business. So the first thing always is talent, right? So if any of you are interested coming to Cadence, we are still hiring. And by the way, Michael, this is a good day. Good job on the stock market. I'm feeling much better than yesterday.
Yeah, it's better than yesterday.
Yeah,
it's good that you're here today.
So we are still hiring. So if you are, and if your friends are, because honestly, this whole thing, whether it's FemAI or whether it's a great place to work, in the end, it is to get the best talent so we can serve our investors, customers, employee, and the societies. That's number one. And number two thing, Cadence is always a good investment. If you need to buy some stocks for your portfolio, that's part of my job also. Yeah.
Please give a warm, great place to work welcome, and thank you to Dr. Anirudh Devgan.
Thank you.